Okay, starting off another session, and this was a special one because my wife decided to come down to the gym and train with me. So I had a training partner for the day, which I don't usually have. Nalin was doing some back squats to start off her session, and I had just bought her a pair of lifting shoes. So she's wearing the Reebok Legacy, and apart from looking really sick, they helped her with her squats by elevating her heels and getting her in better positions when squatting. And apart from that, I got her to do a low bar squat instead of a high bar squat. So you can see from this other video how low the barbell is sitting on her traps. That helps the barbell to stay center through the middle of her foot and have a more balanced squat. So we're moving now into some power snatches that I was doing on the day. There was a 70 kilo set. I was just warming up towards my working sets, which would be at 90 kilos. And my goal for today was to work on shrugging. So shrugging the shoulders and punching my elbows nice and high before I push myself under the bar. That was actually my first set. I started at 80 kilos. It was the workout for the day was three sets of 3 hang power snatches. So I went up to 85 kilos. Still working on that shrug. I know my shoulders don't get as close to my ears as they should, but this is a work in progress. My snatches been improving quite a lot this year, so I'm really happy with that. Third set, I had 4 sets. That was my third one, and 90. I actually missed that first rep. Went for my second one, decided to catch it slightly lower. And the third one now, I catch it almost below parallel, but I think the power snatches is more the intention of catching it higher than usual than actually having your hips higher than your knees. Nalin's now doing some Bulgarian split squats. Her workout was box step ups, but she had an issue with her toes, and just getting on the tip of her toes on the way down of the step ups was kind of aggravating it. So I told her to change it to some Bulgarian split squats and to target her glutes, see how her chest is falling forward. And that was the goal, because otherwise it would be a different movement than box step ups. So back to me, I have my last set of snatches now at 90 kilos. And that was probably one of my best ones. Didn't miss any reps for this one. Starting to catch it lower, and this last reps is gonna be pretty much full snatch. I'm just catching it higher than usual. I usually catch my ass almost touching the floor. So that's a power snatch for me. And now Nalin is working on some cleans. She decided to give it a crack. She's done some weightlifting before through CrossFit, and she decided to work on some cleans. Her first rep, you can see her kind of trying to force the contact on her thighs, and now she's kind of getting in her head. So I told her to rest a little bit. When we're doing cleans, what we want to think about, the first thing I like to start off people from the hang, just to make things easier. So going from the hang, you want to think about pretty much jumping and keeping the bar close to you. So as we jump, if the barbell is close to you, that contact on your thighs is going to happen naturally. So we don't want to try and force that. And the next skill I gave Nalin on that session was try and catch it lower and punch her elbows higher. See how she's catching and then bringing the elbows higher? The moment she catches the bar and the barbell's touching her shoulders, her elbows needs to be pretty much parallel to the floor. So that was another rep where she catch it with her elbows lower, and I told her to practice without the bar. And that's the position I wanted her to get. See where when she mimics a clean, elbows nice and high, and that's where she wants to get. So she went straight from the floor for this one and catch it with her elbows nice and high, and did another one from the hang now. And that was probably her best one. And see the before and after. That's the first rep on the left and the last rep on the right. Look really good. Good job, Nalin. I finished off my training with some overhead squats. It was meant to build to a heavy set of 3. I started off with 90 kilos. Overhead squat is the movement that has usually let me down in the past. I'm pretty good at catching snatches, but holding the barbell over my head for that much time, 3 reps, that's quite a lot. My shoulders starts to shake, and my shoulder endurance and stability is probably not the best, but I've been working on it. So that was my second set at 100 kilos. And I went for a set at 110. I've never stabilized the barbell, so you can see how shaky I am. And once I reach the bottom, there's no way I can hold that. So I had a rest and decided to go again for 110 kilos because I know I can get the weight. And for this one, instead of doing a push jerk from behind the neck, I decided to do a push press. I found that doing a push press helps the barbell to sit in a nice spot straight away. And I don't need to spend that much energy stabilizing. So that was my first rep, second rep, and that third one, my body's trying to understand where to go in order to stabilize the barbell. And I got that. I'm pretty stoked with that one. Big flex for the cam. High five with Nalin. So Nalin finished her session with some ring bicep curls, which is a movement that I like a lot. Of course, you can't go as heavy as a normal bicep curl, but there's a functional aspect of it that not only are your biceps working in kind of a isolated movement, but your full body is kind of involved. You need to be engaging through your core because you're trying to hold a reverse plank per se when you're holding onto the rings. So Nalin had a bit of a break and finished her set with a few more reps. And last movement she had straight away was some ring tricep extension. Same as the ring bicep curls, we can't go as heavy as a dumbbell or a barbell tricep extension, but there's the functional aspect of it. So at the bottom of the rep there, she needs to be engaging through her core to stabilize and stay in that plank. So not only is she doing a tricep extension, she's also working on her core stability. And that's it for today's session, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments who you think can do a better clean, me or Nalin. I'll see you in the next one.